Hi, and welcome to our discussion. Today we'll be talking about the BBC and subscription TV. So, Alice, tell us, what are the differences between the BBC and subscription TV?
Well, subscription TV is made of all the Sky channels that do not belong to the UK.
Oh, so like channels like Comedy Central and MTV don't belong to the UK then?
No, the channels themselves don't, but Sky does. Sky is a British broadcasting company who allows us to subscribe to channels from the US and other such countries.
Oh, so the BBC is purely British and the channels are British?
Yes. If people in the UK pay a licence fee, then you can get the standard TV channels, including the BBC, all the ITV channels, and all of the Channel 4 channels, such as Channel 4, E4, More 4 and Film 4.
Oh right, okay, so who actually owns the BBC then?
Well, the BBC is owned by the UK state. The government funds the BBC by charging all UK TV viewers a licence fee. The person in charge of the BBC is the current director, General Mark Thompson.
The BBC uses its income from that licence fee to pay for its TV, radio and online services, plus other costs.
More recently, the government decided to freeze the licence fee at its 2010 level of £145.50 until the current BBC charter period in 2016.
Oh right, so what about Sky?
Sky charges people a monthly rate, which varies depending on the package purchased.
In 1990, the Broadcasting Act opened up the airways to multi-channel broadcasting for the first time and allowed Sky, or BSKYB as it's officially known, to gain a foothold and ultimately dominate satellite broadcasting in the UK.
So when was the BBC founded then?
The BBC was founded in 1922 by a group of telecommunications companies. These included Marconi, Radio Communications Company, Metropolitan Vickers, General Electric, Western Electric and British Thomson Houston. Their job was to broadcast an experimental radio service.
But although the government controls the funds, don't we as viewers own it?
Well, the trust works for the public, which owns the BBC. Anyone who pays for a TV licence owns the BBC. It is not a government nor private-owned entity. Taxpayers are considered the owners of the BBC.
What about BSKYB? What about who owns that?
Well, Rupert Murdoch owns the most shares in BSKYB, so he therefore has the most influence on the company. He also owns shares in 20th Century Fox, the Sun newspaper, Fox Searchlight, Fox News, the Times newspaper, News International and many more ranging from magazines to Rugby League, etc.
Does that mean then that whatever we watch on TV is influenced by his opinion?
Essentially, yes it does. For example, on BSKYB, anything that is broadcast on Sky will be influenced by Rupert Murdoch's personal opinion. So, do you guys think there's a place for the BBC?
Definitely.
I don't think there is.
Why not?
Because, okay, imagine this, right? If Sky took over all of the channels on British Sky Broadcasting and it showed all the same TV programmes, but it just wasn't the BBC anymore, no one would care that it wasn't the BBC as long as they still got to see their programmes.
We all own a part of the BBC through our TV licensing, like we've already said, like has been stated. So they can afford to show these small programmes because the ITV and BSKYB, they are all paid for and funded by adverts, and they will only show programmes due to ratings.
Because I do think that for people in Britain, having the BBC as our personal, no one else in the world has got the BBC, it's just us.
Exactly.
The BBC went down and some other company popped up and made all the same programmes that the BBC does. No one will care that it was a different company. No one cares about the BBC as a company, they just care, as I said earlier, about their homegrown pictures. But there is a place for the BBC.
Yeah.
Without the BBC, there is no sense of pride and Britishness
No, there's
in
not.
this country.
And
Do you understand why we're coming now?
because most things, and I think it's one of the only things in today's climate that isn't based around advertising and money. There's still a sense of pride and Britishness within the BBC. The BBC isn't run by advertising.
Yeah.
That's my main point.
I
Nearly
agree with that.
every other channel. No.
Yeah,
Every other channel
Has advertising.
Has.
The only advertising that BBC has is for their own programme. On the BBC, if you sign up to watch EastEnders, which is a half an hour programme, you are getting what it says on the tin, basically.
If it's, you know,
That's what the BBC is about. They're straight with the public, and you just get what you pay for.
but there's also Casualty, which is a whole
hour.
50 minutes actually.
I love that. I was at 15
It's
minutes.
just probably over 50 minutes actually.
Yeah.
Although it says
So I think as a conclusion, then we all agree now
that BBC has, you know,
there definitely is a place
yeah.
for the BBC in this country. So that's our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching.
Where I will find Emily every day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.